Welcome back to an exciting video. And what we're talking about today are the pros and cons of the Arturia Astrolab. We're going to answer a few stupid questions. So I'm going to be wearing these for the sound because we are getting ready to play a show, and all my gear that is normally up here in my podcast and music room is downstairs getting ready to get packed up. So I'm going to have to wear these to hear the sounds to make sure we're hearing the same thing. But I want to do a pros and cons on the Arturia. Now, there are a lot of videos out there on this, and I was honestly not going to do one because there's so many. Apparently, this came out 3 months ago, obviously, about 3.5 months ago. And apparently, Arturia sent this to several people for them to test out. And, being that I'm a YouTube creator, I just get bombarded. Once I watch one video of something, then I just get hammered with a million videos of the same exact thing. But being that I've had this for a little while now, and I like to watch the videos to see what other people are doing. And it's been kind of frustrating watching some of these reviews. And I got to admit, I'm just watching them thinking, oh my God. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do a review on it and do it the way that I do reviews. And I'm going to answer a few stupid questions along the way. Just things that I've picked up out of other reviews. And I'm not hacking on anybody whatsoever. Some of the reviews I saw, these guys had really good channels, but it kind of irritates me on some of the reviews people do. Just the way they put things, and I'm like, why? Why are you even saying this? This has nothing to do with anything. So I'm going to clear the air on a few things when it comes to the Arturia Astrolab. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons. We'll do a few sounds, not too many. This isn't really that type of video. But the first stupid question I'm going to get into, does it work in a church? Somebody put that on one of their videos. Does it work in a church? Well, yes, it does work in a church. It works in my music room. It will work in my living room. It'll work on a stage. It'll work in a hotel room. It'll pretty much work anywhere you need a keyboard to work. And those are the kind of questions I'm talking about. Does it work in a church? Well, yeah, it'll work anywhere you need it to work. As long as you got power and a way to put out sound, it'll work. So one stupid question out of the way. So the Arturia, as you can see, it's relatively small. This is a 61 key keyboard, 61 key keyboard. Weighs about the same as a Modi X. And but a little bit smaller. It is extremely heavy. This thing is built like my CP300 digital stage piano. Everything is metal, and I think this could be a composite, but I'm pretty sure it's metal with some kind of faux wood on it. But this is all metal, and this thing is built like a freaking tank. That is a very good pro on this. Even though my Modi X is plastic, that is kind of a bummer for me. It does make it lightweight, and I'm assuming that will help keep the cost down. But in today's world, hell, who knows? Plastic probably costs as much as metal. But it does have that plasticky feel on the Modi X. And that's one thing I don't like about the Modi X. It's just so plasticky feeling. It feels like one of those $100 keyboards you buy from Walmart. Now, I'm not knocking the Modi X. If you haven't seen my video, you can watch it. It is an amazing tool. I just hate that it's made out of plastic. Granted, it's a very strong plastic, but it's still plastic. For $2,000 plastic. Please subscribe to my channel. I gotta say this, and it's been a while since I've said this. About 6% of the people who watch my channel are actually subscribed. That is insane to me. At least get me to 10%. Hell's bells, man. Let's get to 10% of the people subscribed, for crying out loud. But about 6% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed. So please subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is free. It doesn't cost you anything. And I'm always putting incredibly useful and or stupid shit on my channel that you may or may not love. But you might as well tune in to find out. And if you want to help support me even further, like it and share it. Then if you want to even help support me even further than that, if you like the videos and you like the stuff I do, and you want me to keep going forward, please jump over to my Patreon page and you can support me there for $1 a month. I have been slacking on guitar stuff, but just been busy, man. Shit's going on in the world. But for $1 a month, anytime I do a lesson, all the chord charts go up there, all the tabs go up there, any backing tracks I do go up there, everything goes up there. And starting right now, all my videos will also be going onto my Patreon page that you will have access to for $1 a month, and you get to watch them ad-free. So that will also be going up. Now, back to the amazing video and me answering some stupid-ass questions about it. So, the Arturia is built like an absolute tank, man. It is fantastic. You see this camera behind me here, the tripod. I do not have an overhead camera to point down. I will never buy an overhead camera because I have no use for one whatsoever. So you get to look at this. Hopefully it'll stay in focus. This is my Sony with autofocus. Hopefully it won't keep screwing up on my hands. But this will give you a chance to see the keyboard and what I'm talking about here in the top of the keyboard. So as you can see, it is white. It is a very pretty keyboard, if that's important to you. And believe it or not, it is. That's actually how I ended up with this. I bought this for my wife, and she saw this in a guitar store, and she's like, oh my God, it's the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And sat over there and played with it for about 30 minutes. And I thought, you know what? She doesn't get excited about a whole lot, especially me, my dumb ass. But she really liked it. And I thought, you know what? If she likes it and she thinks it's cute, she'll play it. I did a video a while back, do you connect with your guitar? Because if you don't connect with your instrument, and I label it guitar, but just any instrument in general, if you don't connect with that instrument, you're never going to want to play that instrument. And she connects with it. She loves playing on it. So that causes her to play more. And that is a good thing. And on that note, give me 1 second. I'm going to turn the air conditioner down because I'm in the South and it's hotter than hell in here. All right, air conditioner is air conditioning. So, as you can see, we've got some pretty basic controls on here. We got our standard wheels, we got a vibrato wheel, we got our pitch bend, got a couple of controls up here. Now, this is another one of the things that's kind of bothered me, when on some of the reviews. Well, it needs more. Well, you can't deep edit on it. Well, we need some more controls over here. Well, we need this, we need that. Well, actually, we don't need this or need that. This is how it was designed for the reason it was designed. And this is another pro, even though everybody else is saying this is a con, I massively disagree with them. The thing I like about this is the simple fact that it's extremely basic. I can get on my Modi X, start messing around with the sound, and I can get so lost in the menu after menu after menu after menu. I can be in, and by the time I'm an hour in, now I'm so damn frustrated that I'm done. I'm done with the sound. Because the Modi X, the montage series, as is the Korgs and all those, they're so deep editing. And there is a time and a place for that. And that is great. But if you want a keyboard just to grab with a shit ton of great sounds, why do you need all the buttons? I think that's one of the stupidest things I see on the reviews. And that's the main reason I'm doing this review, is that right there. It doesn't need more. It's got exactly what you need to play. It has keys. That's a damn good start. It has a volume knob. Dude, it even gets better. We have a pitch wheel. We have a vibrato wheel. We can choose our sounds. We got a couple of little buttons on here that do some really cool little things I'll get into in a minute. We got some more buttons over here that'll shoot us to particular sounds very, very fast. We got a couple of controls over here, and these kind of act like filters. But these are two-stage. They do two different things. And I'll get into that in a second. We've got some effects controls. What else do you need? Nothing. This is not made to stand on a stage and sit there and deep edit the hell out of it. This is made to take to a stage and play. Now, if you're a workstation guy and you have your music room and you sit and you make beats and you make music and all that stuff all day long, then this may not work for you, and that's okay. But you can't sit there and say, well, I wish I had this and this and this and this and this. Because if you want this and this and this and this and this, go buy something else. And that's the big bitch I have with this, is so many videos I saw, and that's all they talked about. It needs more buttons. It needs this. It does not. I love the fact that it is shockingly simple. Because here's the great thing about it. This has Arturia's V collection in here, 1,300 sounds. And if you can't find the sound you need out of 1,300, then maybe you should change instruments. The sounds in this thing are absolutely phenomenal, but it gets better. You can, for another $200, granted there is an external purchase if you want to do more, then you can actually plug into it and you can go in and do some deeper editing on a lot of these sounds if you choose to do so. I don't choose to do so. If I need something I need to deep edit, I'll just go jump on my Modi X. Yeah, but you've got 2 keyboards. What if you only buy one? Then buy the damn keyboard that suits your purpose. It's that simple. I'm glad it does not have more buttons on it. I love the fact that it is very simplistic. It's very cute, but plain. I like that. I don't need anything else besides what's on here. Absolutely nothing. And I'll get into that more in a second. So that's actually one of my big complaints about watching all the other reviews. It does not need more. All right, more pros. This does have a synth action keyboard on it. All right. Now, I've heard a lot of people say it's weighted. Well, it's not weighted. It's not weighted at all. It's just got a very springy keybed. And I don't know how else to explain it besides that. It doesn't feel weighted at all. When I set up my piano, that feels weighted. Even my Modi X feels a little weighted. This one is just very springy. The keys have a little tension on them as opposed to a regular synth action keyboard. There's a little tension on them, and I like that. And they pop back up instantly. So you have very extremely fast action on it, as opposed to when I get on my piano. With the weighted keys, the keys do not move, nowhere near as fast as this does. This thing, you can fly on this thing. So that I actually do like, and the keys have just enough tension to where you really, you know how sometimes you rub up against a key and it'll sound off that key? There's just enough tension to pretty much keep that from happening. So that is a great thing, and I love that. I wouldn't need anything more than what I have on it. All right, you have the basic controls back in the back, which is all you need. You got a pair of outs, you got some USB, you got a place for your power cord. Speaking of the power cord, the power supply is built into the middle of the power cord. That's pretty cool. I do like that. It does have this very handy and nifty, when you plug it in, it screws in. That I absolutely love. That's where I think Yamaha failed on the Modi X series. I do like the internal power supplies better, but you know, on something this small, it would be hard to stick one in there. But I love the fact that that screws in. I think that was just a great idea on Arturia's point. They did a great job on that. It's very simple to understand what's going on here. You have these really beautiful sliders. Everything works very beautifully. There's a little bit of tension on the wheels. Of course, the pitch wheel springs back to the middle. Got a little bit of tension on it. It is very nice. This is the controller, and it's a very tactile feeling. You can feel it click. You might be able to hear it. I don't know if my mic will pick that up. But it does have the buttons that it needs, nothing more, nothing less, and they're very tactile. Also, they're very clicky. I've heard a lot of people say they don't like that. I kind of do like that. I like to know that when I push a button, the shit actually clicked. I like the clicky. All the controls up here, again, very tactile. They've got a really nice, subtle bit of tension on them. They're not super easy to turn, but they're not hard. You know, I mean, y'all can roll it with one finger. But they just feel very solid and very well made. And overall, this keyboard feels very well made. That is one of the things I absolutely love about it. And it's got the standard controls on a keyboard. Like I said, you got your ins, your outs, your sustain pedals. You got a place to put a USB stick if you want. You can plug a USB into it. It's got, if you look right here, you have a USB-C right here and then a standard right here. When you hook it to your computer, hook it up to this little one right here to get into the sounds. Now, it does have a lot of pros, and one of the pros is the bevy of sounds. It is insane, the amount of sounds this thing actually has. And like I said, if you can't find a sound, then play another instrument, because it's crazy what all's in here. And the simple fact that there's so many sounds, you have minor adjustability over those sounds through the effect knobs and these knobs here, which are actually kind of work like filters, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. Now, where this really shines is in the synth stuff. That is where this absolutely shines. The pads, I'm a huge fan of pads, and the pads on this thing are absolutely insane. And let me throw this on so I can make sure we're hearing the same thing. And we're going to go over just a few of the pads. Check this out. Now, this is the one that everybody's been using on their reviews. This is called Tokyo Dream. And dude, that is Tangerine Dream straight from 1982, and I love that sound. That is such a great tone. Very good. All right, coming to the wheel. Now, this is a pro and this is a con both. The wheel is very simple to use. You just simply turn the wheel and it will rotate to the next sound in that bank. Now, you can change the banks here, or if you hit this back button, it'll give you this dial and you can go in bass, keys, lead, pads, pianos, electric pianos, so on and so on, organs. Then all you do is hit this. And what it's going to do is it's going to load the organ bank, and you can see the organ light will light up right here. And this will start taking us through the organ bank in sequence. As we move the dial, it'll click and move us to the next sound. So this is the Jazz B3 organ, and this is stellar. This is absolutely fantastic. Oh, that sounds so good. Absolutely fantastic, the B3 is. And like I said, you do have some minimum adjustments over them. Check this out. This is the brightness wheel, and that's kind of what it does. It's acting more of a filter than brightness. I think calling it a filter would be more appropriate. Your next one is your timbre. You hear it'll start to add in that other ambient noise. There's that other ambient noise I was talking about. Then, of course, we have a time and a movement here. On the time, on the movement, it gives it much more movement than what it is. And if you have time-based effects on it, then it'll obviously affect that time. Like there's one on here that has a delay. I can adjust the time and it'll speed that delay up or slow it down. So it's pretty straightforward is what it is. And if you hit the split, if you hit the shift, then this turns into volume, bass, mid, and treble here. So these have multiple functions to them. It's not just one function on each one. And all the buttons are like that. They have multiple functions. And so that is part of what I love about it, is its simplicity. If we come over here to the side, here's our octaves. We got 2 octaves up, 2 octaves down with a big bright light telling us what's going on. And I absolutely dig that. If we want to set this down a half step, then all you got to do is hit shift, an octave down. Now I'm transposed down 1/2 step. Back up, I'm back into 0 transposition. And that is fantastic. That's exactly what it was made for. To be stupid easy, because you know what? Everything doesn't need to be complicated in this world. But apparently a lot of people think that everything does need to be complicated in this world. It does exactly what it was meant to do. No more, no less. If you want something that's very easy to understand, that has a bevy of amazing sounds in it with minimal control, the Astrolab's perfect for you. Now, I do not have my iPad up here, but I'm going to do another video on that regardless. So that's kind of why I didn't bring it up here. Now, this little wheel can get frustrating. Here's one of the cons. When you're trying to find a specific sound, you're cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking. If you're in the organs trying to find that one organ sound out of 19 billion organs, that can get a little frustrating because to my knowledge, there's no search on this. But you can Bluetooth your iPad to this, download the Astrolab software, and guess what? That becomes your controller, which I love. Because on my Modi X, I have the screen about yay big. Well, now I can throw my iPad up here, and I got a 12-inch screen. I got a 12-inch screen that I can flip through here and pick all the sounds, and that is absolutely brilliant. I think that is a fantastic idea. I love being able to control this off of my iPad. I don't have to rely on this little bitty wheel, which the wheel's cool. It's very high res. It's different. It's different. I do like it. It is nice. It's very easy to understand. If I want to go to let's say I want to go to some keys, I go to the keys, I press it down. Now I'm in, make sure that everything's right. Now I'm in a classic EP. And then I can move through the JP Super Keys. And this is where this thing shines. This is where this thing is a beast of a keyboard. Autumn Split. Bees like flutes. Those sounds are absolutely freaking amazing. And this is what I like about it. In order for me to get these sounds on my Modi X, I'm going to sit there forever and a day trying to, on that little bitty screen, hitting buttons. And when I hit a button, if your finger barely hits something else, then all of a sudden you've just hit the wrong parameter. Then you got to go back and try to get it to hit that freaking parameter, and it drives me insane. And one thing where I think Yamaha is failing on the Modi X, you cannot hook it to your computer to work on sounds. Like my Fractal. When I work on my guitar rig, my Fractal, I hook it to my computer, everything pops up, I can sit in there and build an entire rig right there. Fantastic. I don't want to build it on the screen on the Fractal that is this freaking big. I don't want to do that. I want to set up my computer so I can actually see everything and make these minute adjustments without having to touch these little touch screens and pull things down, push things up, piss on that. Yamaha, give us some software. Get off your ass. We pay enough and you've got the money to build it. Damn, this video should be on Angry Guy Hates Everything, dude. I'm a little pissy about this. So, this is what the Arturia does best, is the synth sounds are fantastic. And if you're wanting a synth with great synth sounds, it will work brilliantly. And if you are like, you know what? We have a church. And we need something that has some really good synth sounds that we don't have to mess around a lot with. Buy the Arturia. It will fit right in. Because see, we play with this live. That is right. This wasn't a toy we bought just so we could make videos. We needed something that we could program some sounds into very quickly and use it and go gig. So we have two keyboards on stage, a Modi X and an Arturia, and it works absolutely freaking brilliant this way. I love this little keyboard. Now, one of the shortcomings of this are the piano sounds. They're not bad, but they're not great. Let me give you an example. So we can hit our piano button, or we can just go into here, go back, and we can scroll down to pianos and hit enter. Either way. Now here are the piano sounds on this. They're not bad. Will they work? Absolutely they will work. Probably without much issue whatsoever. They're not as good as the pianos on the Modi X. That's just simply how it is. But they'll absolutely work in a band setting. But what they don't have is that life that a real piano has, that character. The Modi X does work pretty well on that. Now, the Modi X doesn't sound as good as my CP300, but the Modi X has a little more character in the pianos. These pianos are a little characterless. They're just a little, they just don't have enough character. Now, there are some very cool things in here with the pianos. This is a good one. This is called a Black Forest. It's an acoustic grand, and this is a really good one for, you know, and that's pretty cool. And hear all the reverb? That is what I love about the Arturia. That is what I love about it. You know, the thing, they sent these to all these other guys for free. I actually bought mine, and I'm giving them a better review than the guys who got it for free did. That is crazy. And I'm not saying I want Arturia to send me anything, because I don't want, on all my reviews, I buy all my gear. And I don't want somebody to say, well, I gave you this, so give us a favorable review, because that's never going to happen. If you give me something to review, I'm going to review it the same way that I review everything else in the world, and that's just kind of how it is. But this I bought, so there's nobody can sway anything on what I'm saying. I'm not sitting here talking it up because Arturia is paying me to or gave me the piano. I'm talking it up because it does exactly what it was built to do. And you have all these people out there that are complaining about it because it doesn't have enough this or enough that. Then shit, buy something else. It's not complicated. Back on, and we'll get this wrapped up pretty quick here in a minute. As you can see here, it has some lights on it, and these lights will light up as you play. Now, the point of these lights is that it'll show a split. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, as you can see here, one side of it's blue and one side of it is orange. And this is where our split is. And you can see the buttons here, part 1, which is this, part 2, which is this. It's incredibly simple. It's very easy to understand visually, and that is brilliant. Have our piano. We have piano in strings on top. And it breaks down so I can see exactly where my split point is. It's fantastic. I absolutely love that. I can move the octaves around, and as you can see, these pianos will move. If I move the octave this way, it's going to move my split up. And I'm going to have a straight piano, more straight piano, strings, or I can move it down, and the whole thing now is pianos with strings, move it one octave up. When I go back to center, to where it's dead center, no octave up or down, now you can see the orange light starting to come back in without strings. If I tack this out and I go all the way up, you see these green, they'll turn green up here. It's because there's no sound. I'm beyond the piano range. And that's where the piano stops. So these will be dead keys. Absolutely brilliant how they designed this. And they did exactly what they set out to do. To make something very visual, something very attractive, because it is white with the brown, got the nice little knobs on it, the beautiful glowing blue. That is fantastic. I love that. Very visual. Absolutely brilliant the way they did this. And it does exactly what they set out to do. It is a brilliant keyboard for what it was designed to do. So another stupid question. Well, who's it for? What kind of question is that? It's for anybody who wants to play a damn keyboard. That's mind-boggling to me. It's anybody who wants to sit down at something with keys and make sound. That's who it's for. It's for everybody. They didn't try to target a specific group of people. It's for anybody who wants something that's very easy to use with a ton of sounds, with minor adjustability, enough to do what you need to do 98% of the time. It's for whoever wants to have a damn keyboard that doesn't have to sit there for hours learning how to use it. This is the big pro about this keyboard. You can literally plug it up and go. You don't have to read. The manual on my Yamaha looks like a Bible. It's so thick. And it's like reading Chinese arithmetic. It is insane. I spent 3 weeks after I bought it just learning how to use half of the damn thing. I can use this 100% within 3 minutes. It's literally that simple. Case in point, let me show you how hard this is. All right. Let's go back to a straight piano. We want to arpeggiate this piano. Okay, that's great. But that arpeggio, it's way too slow. Okay, fantastic. Let's go in here. Let's go to type, octave range 1 up. Click that. It's literally that simple to use. That is the beauty of it, and that's what I love about it. If I want to sit around and get pissed off and stay frustrated for 35 minutes, I'll go play my Modi X. If I just want to sit down and pull up some amazing freaking sounds, I'll just sit at the Arturia. Now, with that being said, am I knocking my Modi X? Absolutely not. It does exactly what it was designed to do. It's very deep editing with some world-class sounds on it. The engine is amazing, and it sounds absolutely brilliant. The reason that it sounds like I'm knocking it is because I just watched so many reviews. Who's this made for? Does it work in a live setting? Well, yeah, I'm live right now, and it's working fantastically. I'm absolutely live. I think I'm live. Yes, I am live. It's working in a live setting. We take it on our stage. We got a show Saturday, and guess what? We'll be playing the Arturia at the show. You know, does it work in a church? Why wouldn't it work in a church? It works pretty much anywhere there's a power source. Who's it made for? Well, it's made for anybody who wants to sit down and play a damn keyboard. And that's literally why I made this video. I just kept watching these, and I was like, oh my God, these people, they're frustrating. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just clearing the damn air, because videos like that irritate me, because not only am I a YouTube creator, I also watch a lot of damn YouTube. So, and trust me, people get pissed off at my videos. They let me know all the time. It is what it is. So real quick, again, back to a couple of the simple things, the things that I do love about it. Something else that's very cool. If we go into the piano, all right, so let's say we want to, okay, here's a C. C minor. The old dark C minor. But you know what? I want to play a song with all major chords. I want everything to be happy all the damn time. Okay, check this out. So I'm playing an F. What if I don't want to play an F chord? What if I just want to play one finger F chords? If we press and hold this down, you see here it says scale. Okay, so we're going to do this in C. We have a root note, our C. Our scale type is major. We have chord turned on. The type of chord are going to be major sevens. We're going to turn the part selection on all. So if I play one finger on a C, it's going to play a C major 7. If I play an F, it's going to play an F major 7. If I play a C sharp, it's going to play a C sharp major 7. That is absolutely brilliant. I love that. that is, you know, absolutely fantastic. Now we can come up here and we can turn chord off. And then it puts us right back where we were. Turn chord back on. We can go back to type. And let's say we want to play a major 11. Hit enter. Now we're playing a major 11 chord. All right, so let's go back up here. Root note is C, scale type major. let's turn that to minor. And let's go back. Let's turn this off of 11s. Let's turn this back to 7 chords. Now, I'm playing minor chords. Absolutely fantastic. Then if I move this up, scale minor, you get harmonic minor, melodic minor, Lydian, Mixolydian, so on and so on. Absolutely brilliant. We'll do Dorian. And that is playing the chords in the Dorian mode. And turn scale back off, jump back out of here, turn chord back off, back out, and we're right back. This is the beauty of this, and this is what it was designed to do. It was designed to be very simple to use without having to put a ton of thought and a ton of work into it, and be able to achieve some absolutely badass things. And it does that perfectly. Everything on here has a function. And you really don't need more. If you need more, spend the extra $199, go in there and do some deeper editing. But as of right now, we haven't had to spend it because we can pretty much everything we've needed out of it, we've been able to get so far. All right, so real quick, a couple of sounds. This thing has the synth side of this and the organ side of this is absolutely freaking amazing. The piano side, I'm going to give it a B+ on the piano side. A B+. It's about the best I can do. Maybe an A-. Some of the piano sounds are pretty good. Now, the piano sounds that are hybrids are brilliant, where they lay pads on top of them. Those are fantastic. But the synth and the organ side of this, that is an A+ all the way. The church split organ, fantastic. This is just I'm just going to hit some of the organ sounds real quick. 99 synth organ. Fantastic. After hours organ. Absolutely brilliant. EP, this is the Clean Mark V. Actually turn it down. The Logic song. You know what the Logic song is? I'm not playing anybody's music because I'm sick and tired of YouTube dinging my ass for everything that I do. And I get dinged a lot. Feeling Down, Muted Wah-Clav. Natural Amped Tone. That's all I'm playing. All I'm playing. Bright Chorused. Rooftop EP. The Great One. Did they make a damn sound for me? Met Before Our Time. And it's just a ton of really, really good EPs, just more and more, and it goes on forever. All I Need. Bad Romance. Clear Piano Roads. And the EPs are actually very good. This is a DXE piano. Straight from 1986. The organs are fantastic. The basses, I gotta be honest, I don't use a lot of basses. I don't use a lot of stuff like that. It does have some fantastic leads in it. Obviously, you got your keys. This is old tape splits. The pads, absolutely brilliant. This has some of the best pads I've ever heard. I love pads. You got your string sections. Fantastic. You have your brass section. All I'm playing, tired of getting dinged. We have things that are already sequenced. Tons of sequencing stuff in it. You can create a playlist. If you hit the button here, you can move things into a playlist and set them in order. You notice all this will turn yellow. If you set up 9 sounds, it'll put them in order. If you see up here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, blah, 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 blah. And it'll put them in order here, or you can just go into your live set here and scroll through them. Either way, it works absolutely fantastic. It's very simple to use. Hit back. It's very simple to use, and that's exactly what it was designed for. Now, one more thing is it does have a vocoder in it, all right? The vocoder is seriously freaking cool. I love vocoders. My Modi X has one. And what a vocoder is you can plug a mic into it, set it to a vocoder, and then it gives your voice that synthesized sound, like they did at the very beginning of Love Bites from Def Leppard. They used a vocoder on that to get that sound where whatever he says there. I'm not going to do a vocoder instruction thing on this today. I am going to mess with that in a future video just because it's pretty damn cool. All right, so before I go, the last con I'm going to talk about, and this one is bothersome, and that's why I left it till the end. I'm sorry about the length of this video. I apologize. What are you going to do? The last con. This is something I think they can fix with a firmware update, but some of the sounds do take a minute to load. That is a bummer. If we back up here, and so you can see here, we're now on a different screen. We can go to types of instruments, the actual instruments. Here we have artist. We got a bunch of preset stuff from artist. This is Aha, the bass on Aha. Take On Me ARP. The choir on Take On Me by Aha. The hybrid bass. The lead. I'm not playing anything. Sick and tired of YouTube dinging me. I did one on my Modi X, and because I played like 7 different songs, little snippets of them, all 7 of those people took a cut of my video. I pretty much got nothing, so done with that. The bells. More Take On. Let's back out of here. Air tribute, Alan Parsons Project, Beatles tribute, Berlin tribute. And there's a bunch of stuff they've already got in here. Cars, Daft tribute. Yes, this is going to my point. I just wanted to point this out because this is pretty cool. Dire Straits, Duran Duran, ELP tribute. I thought it said ELO. It's got a Pink Floyd tribute, but not a lot in there. Let's see here. Different Ways, Classic Synth. This is what I'm looking for. Right, quit. Keep turning it. Back, Journey, Lady Gaga, MGTM. Oh, here we go. Michael Jackson on a Smooth Criminal. Those are the hits. And then the sound to accompany it. The Beat It groove. The Beat It Rhodes. Billie Jean, Who's and Ha's, you know, with the part where he goes, the part where they do that. Smooth Criminal, the bass. The Beat It Gong. Pretty cool. The bass for Billie Jean. Billie Jean, the classic EP for Billie Jean. More Smooth Criminal stuff. So the point I'm making is if you watch this, these load fairly fast to where it's not that big of a deal. The mini bass for Thriller organ, and so on and so on. But some of these, let's get out of the artist. Let's go to piano and watch what I'm talking about. That's not bad. Keep watching. See that one? See, that one has a little bit of... And that's what I'm talking about. So if we're playing live and we need to go from Bill's Best Jazz to piano and strings, that's a hell of a long wait. To give you an idea, I'm changing it right now. It just loaded. That is one of the biggest cons of this unit, is it does take some of the patches, the big heavy patches, takes a minute to load. And that is kind of a downside, because if I need that live, I can't just jump from one sound to the next. I'm going to have to wait for it to load. So I've either got to come up with another plan or just use a whole different sound altogether. Now, being that I have two keyboards, it's not that big of a deal for me. But if this is your only keyboard you're going to get with live, that may be a big deal. Now, I'm sure that's something Arturia can do in an upgrade, in a patch upgrade, firmware upgrade. I'm sure they can pick the speed of this up quite some bit, because that's one thing that they must do. In order to get, if this was my only live keyboard, that would be my one drawback, is the amount of time it takes for some of these patches to load. That is, I'm sorry, that's not acceptable, because I got to move through sounds. Because, you know, there's sounds that we have, like most of the songs we play, like when we do Rebel Yell, you know, it has two sounds. Now, since I have two keyboards, it's not a big deal. But if this was my only keyboard, then it would be a big deal, jumping between these sounds. We do a lot of Journey that I end up playing keys and guitar on, and there again, sometimes I have multiple sounds. And one place where the Modi X really does shine over this is the scenes. You can build scenes in a Modi X, and they change like this. And that is fantastic. Now, I do kind of wish they would do something like that in here. They could do it with a firmware update. They could turn these, because you know what? When I'm in my sound, when I'm in my playlist, all right, I can easily roll this wheel to get from, you know, because I'm going in order. I don't need them here. Set these up as scenes. Set these up so I can have, you know, my keyboard here, and then I can just build on that. I can keyboard with strings, keyboard strings organ, keyboard strings this, and I can keep layering on top of that the different sounds that I need. I think that would be pretty cool if they did something like that, but that is not a deal breaker at all. And the slow moving patches is not a deal breaker. That's just something you have to be aware of if you're going to play live. So I am going to be doing more videos on this. I've got to do some more on my Modi X. I just have not gotten around to it. I've been doing shit on guitar and other crazy things that I've been doing. But I wanted to get this one knocked out. So this is the Arturia. This is the Astrolab. $1,600, I believe. $14.99, $15.99. Built like a tank. More sounds in it than you'll ever use, than you'll ever need. If you want something that's incredibly easy to use, very straightforward, with a world of beautiful patches in it, this is a great keyboard to have. If you want something that's super deep editing, buy something else. But if you want something to plug it in, have fun, and start playing, buy the damn Arturia. Save yourself the headache. I love having both. It makes my life easier. And having two keyboards is much easier on stage, man. Especially set them side by side and do shit like this, and you look like a total idiot, which is pretty much what I look like all the time anyway. So on that note, this is the Arturia Astrolab. Check it out. I do think you will like it. And like the great Sammy Hagar says, if you miss a beat, you lose the rhythm and nothing falls into place. And no matter what you do, for the love of God, rock on.